Check, check, check. You got to flip it the other way. These two. Check, check, check. You hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I got you.
Clear.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Maybe like a tiny bit
A
louder.
little bit more. There you go.
And
Check, check.
when it gets louder in here, maybe we'll put it up a little bit, but I think right now we're good. Say again, one more time.
Check, check. Can you hear me?
Yep, yep. All right, cool. All right. I'll let you know when we're good. Tobias, and wow. We'll do the guards first. All right. Yeah. We got to unmute him. What mics are we? Oh, lower them. Is that OBS? Par said lower the levels. Lower the levels on OBS, he said. Here. Put on your headset. You can't hear me, right? Because we're... All right, yeah. You talk? All right, what? I just wanted to make sure it was 1 and 2, yeah. All right. Ask him, it should be good now. He lowered it a little bit. That should be good. All right. You ready to go? We live? All right, cool. Good to go? Welcome in, everybody, to the Liacouras Center on North Broad Street. It's James Urban and Zachary Silverstein here at the Liacouras Center for the 18th ranked Memphis Tigers coming into town to take on the Temple Owls. The Memphis Tigers come in tonight at 13-3 and 3-0 in the American, as the Owls are 10-6 and 2-1. And Zach, we have a ton of storylines coming into this game tonight. Quite the treat on our hands. But we're going to start off with the guard play. 2 top 10 scorers in the nation with P.J. Haggerty and Jamal Mashburn Jr.
Yeah, I mean, you have 2 guys that are top 10 in the entire country in scoring. P.J. Haggerty sitting at number 3. Jamal Mashburn Jr. at number 9. This might be the best guard matchup in the entire country out of all the games being played tonight. And I can't wait for it to be played here up on North Broad.
One of the biggest opportunities of the season thus far. Zach, we talked about it a little bit in our pregame video, but I just want to hear it one more time. What is everything that Temple needs to do to win this game tonight? They come in as a 7.5, 8-point underdog. It was switching throughout the day. And we all know Temple's going to need about an A+ game to win this one tonight. But what is the execution that they need to do?
Yeah, for this game tonight, you cannot rely on one guy, which would be Jamal Mashburn Jr. You need to play complete team basketball. Guys like Quante Berry and Shane Dezzoni, who've really stepped up in every role that they've been called upon to play this entire season. You also have guys like Steve Settle and Zion Stanford who are going to be crucial. Settle is really going to have to rebound. You cannot give up second chance points to this Memphis team. They're number 18 in the country for a reason, and they're going to show it if you can't rebound the basketball.
Memphis comes in with some of the best signature wins in the nation out of any team, ranked or not. Wins over Missouri, who just had a win at Florida the other night wins over San Francisco, the UConn Huskies, Michigan State, at Clemson, and Ole Miss, who just won at Alabama. So Memphis has a phenomenal schedule right now, and they surely look like they will be playing deep into March. And on the other hand, Temple, their signature wins, just two so far with Wichita State, and Zach, of course, number 2,000 just recently, which put them into that special club that win over Davidson.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Memphis, they've had a really, really tough schedule this season so far. One of the toughest schedules in the entire country, but they have lived up to the hype. I mean, one of those teams they lost to, Auburn, is currently sitting at number 1 in the entire country. And so Temple is no tough task for Memphis when you compare it to all the other teams that they played against. But we saw them have one slip-up game earlier this season. Tonight could definitely be another one if Temple plays together.
And Memphis's 2 big wins over UConn and Michigan State were in the Maui Invitational, so a neutral site. And here, they're going to get a little bit of a different environment. The Liacouras Center, it is the whiteout game tonight. It is snowing outside. The scene is set here in North Philadelphia. The white T-shirts are laid out in the stands. Just, you said it reminds you a little bit of the whiteout game from last year and maybe a little bit of the Houston game 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the whiteout game last year was also Memphis, so, I mean, the exact same thing this year as well. Memphis was now ranked, though, when they came into Liacouras Center last season. Temple, coming into this game, unbeaten at home, 6-0.
6-0 at the Liacouras Center.
Liacouras, so obviously they want to keep that streak alive. You don't want that streak to end during your whiteout night with all the fans here coming out to watch you. I mean, if they can pick up a win against number 18 in the country to go to 7-0 here at Liacouras, I mean, that would just write itself.
And you can sense the energy. This team knows that this is a big opportunity. Temple does have some rough losses.
Yeah.
Of their 6 losses, BC, FSU, LaSalle, URI, Nova, and ECU. Most recently, ECU was one of the rough losses on the road in conference play, but still above 500 at 2-1, and here a massive opportunity against the Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a Temple team that really could be 13-3, just like Memphis coming into this game. A couple tough losses, just not able to get it done late in games where they have a lead and then they just squander that lead. Or I know we talked about it all season, the free throw shooting. Overall, their free throw shooting isn't terrible, but it seems like they always miss when it matters most. They always miss whenever it matters most. Against Wichita State last week, or about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, they shot really well from the free throw line late in that game. The last 2 minutes or so, they took a lot of free throws because Wichita State was sending them to the line, hoping that they would miss, banking on that, and Temple got it done. Against ECU, even though they lost that game, shot very well. Against Rice, they shot very well also, but again, against this Memphis team, if it's late and this game is close, you got to make your free throws.
Both these teams coming off conference victories. Temple on Saturday played at Rice. The other Owls in the American with a 3-point win. Players like Shane Dezzoni put up a stat line of 10 and 15. He is known for his rebounding. He's been a huge piece. The role players like him and Quante Berry that we mentioned, I think that they will be massive tonight as well in this game.
You're going to need both of them, of course. And Shane Dezzoni and Quante Berry, like I said earlier, they've played in a bunch of different roles so far this season, but they seem to step up in every game. For, like you said, Shane Dezzoni, 15 rebounds as a guard. That's incredible. And this is a guy where last season, starting the year, he was not in the regular rotation. He got in there kind of like towards the middle of the season and then really made a name for himself and earned all the minutes that he's been getting in this season so far.
Of the 3 losses for Memphis, they come to Auburn, Mississippi State, 2 not bad losses. Auburn currently number 1 in the nation. Mississippi State, a top 25 team. Their 1 bad loss comes at home to Arkansas State by 13 and a score of 85-72. The starting lineups have been announced. The Memphis Tigers will be starting number 3, Colby Rogers, a redshirt senior transfer from Wichita State. Guard P.J. Haggerty, 22.4 points per game, sophomore transfer from Tulsa. Tyrese Hunter, Iowa State, Texas, now at Memphis, senior. He's a sharpshooter. Nicholas Jourdain, the former Temple Owl. And Musa Cisse at center. Memphis has themselves quite the roster. And for the Temple Owls, Quante Berry, Jamal Mashburn Jr., Steve Settle, Baba Duradola, and a name that has been in and out of the starting lineup, the freshman, Aiden Tobias and Zach. How do you feel about Aiden being put into the starting lineup tonight?
Yeah, I mean, to have that much trust and that much confidence in a true freshman in Aiden Tobias.
In this kind of game.
In this kind of game, I mean, number 18 in the whiteout night, and head coach Adam Fisher says, we're putting you out there to start the game. They got 3. Temple has, 2 true freshmen in the starting lineup, 3 overall that really get a lot of minutes. You have Tobias and Batty and Duradola as well. I mean, 3 guys that get a lot of trust so far this season. Duradola has started all season, every single game this season, but Tobiasen, I mean, this is a really big opportunity for him to come out there and really play well. From Wilmington, Delaware, too, not far. I mean, you don't want to call it a homecoming, obviously, a whole nother state, but he's probably got some family here tonight watching them start this game.
Has shown signs of a bright future,
yes.
Him and along with Dylan Batty.
They have good freshmen on this team.
Aiden Tobiasen, like you mentioned, from Wilmington, Delaware, averaging 3.7 points per game. And he will be under the bright lights with the starting lineup here tonight. And we are just about ready to be underway here at the Liacouras Center. The 5 for Memphis out on the court, ready to go. Temple breaking the huddle. Coming into this game, Temple has lost 2 players, Jameel Brown and Lynn Greer, due to suspension. But that is past them, and they are looking forward, ready for this matchup tonight against Memphis. Temple's 5 is out there on the court. Referees approaching the T logo at center court. And the ball is tipped, and we are underway at the Liacouras Center. Tyrese Hunter, wearing number 11, going away from us. Temple will be coming towards us. Temple in the white, Memphis in the black. A lob to Nick Jourdain to start things off. And looks like he could have dunked it, but he gracefully lays it in. And that's a 2-point lead early for Memphis.
And right off the bat, that shows you the size difference between the 2 teams. I mean, there was not even a small contest there at the rim, and that could be a trouble for Temple. A very big size difference here. The biggest guy for Temple, Steve Settle.
And a turnover early by Jamal Mashburn Jr., but Baba Duradola is able to retain. Step back jumper for Jamal Mashburn Jr. And Zach, that's a kind of play that Temple was missing last year, and now they have it.
Yeah, right off the bat, Jamal Mashburn Jr. wastes no time. He's as smooth and as pure a scorer as you're going to find in the country. And like you said, the first time in a while that they have a guard like that.
Step back jumper on the left wing was good from Jamal Mashburn Jr. He starts this matchup off 1 for 1 from the field. PJ Haggerty wearing number 4 at the top of the key, coming off the screen from Cisse. Swings it to Tyrese Hunter, 3 on the shot clock. He lets it fly. No good, rims in and out. And a rebound, swirls around, and is put up and in by PJ Haggerty. Seems like Steve Settle and Cisse were fighting for that board, but nobody could get their hands on it. Winds up in Haggerty's hand, lays it in.
Yeah,
4-2 lead for Memphis.
Yeah, that matchup down there with Cisse and Settle going back and forth, that's going to be a really fun one to watch all night.
3 ball for Jamal Mashburn Jr. from the right wing, no good. And a steal by Cisse. Quante Berry getting back, 2v1 for Memphis. Layup, no good. It tried to reverse it, was PJ Haggerty. In transition the other way, pump fake, Quante Berry, and he loses it. Just was a little sped up.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had the lane there. He had a nice pump fake there behind the 3-point line, but just going a little too quick. And now that's going to be Memphis ball. And another back-to-back turnovers for Temple. Obviously, this is a team in Memphis where you can't turn the ball over, but Memphis doesn't take care of the ball either themselves. We have the stat 325th in the entire country in turnovers per game, so as bad as they come.
Colby Rogers swinging it back up top to Tyrese Hunter. Airmailed him and stolen by Aiden Tobiasen. Reached in transition. Tyrese Hunter pokes it away. It'll be out of bounds under the basket for the Owls.
And speaking of the turnovers, Memphis there right on cue, turning the ball over, but Temple just not able to hold on to the ball in these first couple minutes. A couple balls out of bounds where Memphis just gets their hand in there and deflects it loose.
Out of bounds play by Quante Berry. Puts it into Baba Duradola. Moves it to Steve Settle. Settle operating, guarded by the former Owl, Nick Jourdain. Off the screen. And he loses it, or a bunch of few turnovers by the Owls to start this one. At the top of the key, P.J. Haggerty, the 22-point-per-game scorer. Dribbles and figures out what this set will be for the Tigers. Off the screen from Cisse. Out to Colby Rogers. The left wing three is no good. And rebounded, but he steps out of bounds, was P.J. Haggerty. So it's clear that the game plan by Coach Penny Hardaway is to speed up tempo a little bit.
Yeah, you want to speed them up, and we saw right there with Haggerty how the second he showed any penetration at all, he had 2 or 3 Owls collapse right on him and leave the shooters open behind the three-point line. Luckily for Temple, they missed, though.
Through the lane, Quante Berry, strong and taking the contact, ties it up at 4 apiece. 3 minutes through at the Liacouras Center, 4-4. And once again, Memphis going away from us towards the other basket, and Temple coming towards us. 3 ball from top of the key by Nick Jordan, no good. Rebounded by Aiden Tobiasen. Jamal Mashburn Jr. through the lane, and he turns it over once again.
Again, just trying to have that quick drive there, just not able to keep the handle.
Stolen by Nick Jordan. Settle and Jordan seems to be the matchup. Swings it to the top of the key, P.J. Haggerty, guarded by Barry. Dane Danger heads to the scorer's table. Haggerty operating to the corner, Tyrese Hunter. 0 for 1 from 3 thus far. 5 on the shot clock, back to Haggerty. And that's off the mark. Rebounded by Steve Settle. And they slow it down. Adam Fisher telling his players to slow it down a little bit.
And that shot right there was a really good look for Haggerty. Fortunately for Temple, he was not able to get it to fall, but that's a guy you can't leave open behind the arc.
Mashburn and Barry with each of the first 2 buckets for Temple to start this one. Mashburn has it through the lane, lots of contact, and no call. Colby Rogers tries to save it, and he steps out of bounds. It'll be Temple ball when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on WHIP Radio. from the first media timeout. James Urban and Zach Silverstein here on WHIP Radio. And Zach, the storyline early, we were talking about Memphis coming in this game, 325th in the nation in turnovers, but Temple, a quick 4 turnovers to start this one.
Yeah, 4 turnovers in about the last 3.5 minutes for Temple. They're lucky that Memphis is not making their shots. They're in a scoring drought of just under 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 59 seconds. So Memphis not able to take advantage of the miscues from Temple. Luckily for Temple, but you really got to clean up those turnovers. And a couple balls, too, that weren't turnovers because they stayed with Temple, but driving to the basket, Memphis deflects the ball loose, goes out of bounds.
Back to the action. Under the basket, out of bounds play for Temple. Jamal Mashburn Jr. with the pull-up, leaves it short and rebounded by Memphis. Going the other way in transition. To the rim, Nick Jourdain kicks it back out. Colby Rogers pump fakes, pull-up jumper from the right wing, no good. Rebounded right to Jourdain, and that's an easy putback and one. 6-4, Memphis.
And right there, Jourdain just not giving up on the play, driving right in for that easy layup. And, I mean, just a little bit of a defensive breakdown there trying to go for the rebound. That was Elijah Gray just getting over there late. I believe that was Quante Berry who was boxed out. A very good job by Memphis of boxing out Berry there.
And you mentioned going into the TV timeout, the size difference between Memphis and Temple is going to be an issue. Dane Danger, the transfer from Illinois, wearing number 42 in black for Memphis tonight. Backup center for the Tigers.
I mean, to start the game, you have Cisse down there, down low. Then as soon as he comes out, Danger comes in. Just 2 very big bodies down there.
And token pressure in the backcourt by Memphis as they hold the early 7-4 lead. 15-15 to go in this first half. To the corner, Steve Settle lets it fly, and it's good. 7-7.
And Steve Settle is one of those guys we said that really has to step up. He's one of the key contributors for this Temple team. A 6th-year player, a lot of experience, and he's got to show it tonight.
The transfer from Howard has been a bright spot for the Owls this year, Steve Settle. Dane Danger off the mark and a push in the back by Nick Jourdain. Nick Jourdain looking for his 3rd offensive rebound, but not before he's called for the push in the back on who else but Steve Settle.
Steve Settle doing it on both ends of the court, not letting his effort go unnoticed there.
Just somebody who's always been there for Temple since he's arrived on campus. He's missed only a stretch of games when he had the flu and he lost 15 pounds, Zach.
I mean, he's the guy that you can always rely on. He's out there each and every night, except for that little stretch that you just mentioned. And he does, I know, look, he's 6th year in. He'll do whatever Adam Fisher says. It doesn't matter how long he's been playing. All he wants to do is win games.
Temple breaks the press once again. Jamal Mashburn Jr. operating at the top of the key. Elijah Gray guarded by Danger on the right elbow. His mid-range jumper's good. Elijah Gray 1 for 1 from the field, and Temple has their first lead of the game, 9-7.
And a really smart decision there by Gray. I think he knows that he cannot take Danger down low when he's in the paint. So decided to pull up for the jumper there and got it to fall.
Dante Harris, the early sub at point guard for Memphis. His pull-up jumper's off the mark. Rebounded by Steve Settle. Temple going the other way. Settle guarded by the smaller Harris. Top of the key, handoff. Elijah Gray to Mashburn. Mashburn operating his pull-up J, and he gets fouled. Looks like Danger got under his feet, and Mashburn lands on the Danger foot, and he will head to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, now with Danger, even though he may not have made contact with Jamal Mashburn, you have to give the shooter a spot to land, and didn't do that there. Jamal Mashburn, not shy at all. I know there was the foul call, but that was a really tough contested shot that he just took, and this is what you want. He's already got 4 field goal attempts, only made 1 of them, but not shy at all.
Jamal Mashburn Jr., the 5th-year guard from Miami, Florida, transferring from New Mexico, and he has been the biggest blessing to the Owls thus far, averaging 20.7 points per game, 44% from 3, 43% from the field. So even though he takes a ton of shots, he shoots it at a great clip, and he knocks down both. An early 4-point lead for the Owls, 11-7, with 13:58 to go in the first half.
He's a very smooth scorer, and it kind of reminds me of a Caliph Battle, who was a lot more inefficient, was very streaky at times. Jamal Mashburn, smooth like him, but gets those percentages up and keeps them there.
Hunter gets fouled on the left wing. Quante Berry just a bit too aggressive. And there are now some subs into the game for Temple. Zion Stanford from West Catholic, Philadelphia native, and Shane Dezzoni from Pocono Mountains PA, who has been great for Temple recently.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, 10 points and 15 rebounds against Rice in Temple's last game.
Okaje swinging to Hunter on the right wing, guarded by Barry once again. Seemed like a lot of steps. No travel called, but it doesn't matter. Quante Barry blocks it away, and Memphis just has 6 seconds on the shot clock for this out-of-bounds play under their own basket.
And speaking of Quante Barry there, he averages less than 1 block per game, but got it there. Great to see him active on the defensive end.
3 on the shot clock. Danger in the post. Backs down. Elijah Gray doesn't hit the rim, and it's a shot clock violation. And you can feel the energy in Liacouras rising.
So now it's tough down there. Now Temple sent a late double team down low, and obviously not enough time for the ball to be passed out, for Danger to pass that ball out. So if you're going to collapse, you got to make sure there's not enough time for the pass to be thrown out.
And now that backcourt pressure that was there in the first 6 minutes is now eased off. Elijah Gray out on the right wing, going baseline, takes Danger, and he loses it off his own knees. Great defense there by Dane Danger, getting a hand on it.
Yeah, that was a play there where Shane Dezzoni used his size and his strength to back down his defender, found Elijah Gray, who really, he should have just pulled up for the three-point shot there. He had the space. Instead, tried to take Danger down low and turn the ball over.
PJ Haggerty back into the game. Dante Harris, Ogage, Dane Danger, and Tyrese Henner are the 5. A great up and under move in the middle of the paint by Dane Danger. That's his first basket of the game. 11-9, 2-point lead with 12:45 to go for Temple.
Great footwork there by the redshirt senior forward, getting Gray up in the air.
Through the lane, Quante Barry can't get it to go. Rebound by Okaje. Through the lane, Tyrese Hunter. He gets hit, and that's going to be an and one. Second and one of the game for Memphis. And a few early fouls by the Owls. Elijah Gray with 1, Zion Stanford with 1.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Mashburn there for trying to contest that shot and make a play on the ball. Unfortunately, the foul was called and he got it to go. Tyrese Hunter has been all over. Started at Iowa State, then went to Texas, now at Memphis. He's averaging 15 points per game, which on most teams would be the leading scorer on your team, but he's got PJ Haggerty out there, so you put those two together as a duo, that's a pretty good guard duo there.
And Tyrese Hunter is a guy that you do not want to see get hot. He can suck the life out of a gym very quickly.
Just under 44% from three-point range is Hunter on the season.
Zion Stanford double in the corner, kicks it out to the top of the key. Shane Dezzoni. Back out to Elijah Gray. Wide open 3 for Elijah Gray, and it's good. Left wing 3 for Gray. Puts Temple back up to 14-12, approaching the 12-minute mark in the first half. PJ Haggerty going the other way. Danger in the middle. Tyrese Hunter, corner tray ball from the right side, and that one's good. And that's not a good sign. You don't want to let him get one go through.
And right on cue, James, you said he's a guy that you don't want to let get hot. He's got the and-one, made the free throw, then follows it up with the three-pointer. That's the last thing you need, but now Temple finds himself trailing.
After the Hunter 3, Memphis back up 1, 15-14 with 11:49 to go in the first half. We'll be right back on WHIP Radio. back from the second media break. James Urban and Zach Silverstein here on WHIP Radio. And Memphis with the early 1-point lead, 15-14, 11:49 to play in this first half. And Zach, Temple doing a solid job with the 22-point game per score. PJ Haggerty just 2 points, 1 for 3 from the field right now.
Yeah, but you have a guy in Haggerty who's third in the entire country in points per game, and just 2 points. Look, I know we're not even halfway through the first half yet, but that's a pretty good sign so far for Temple, just forcing Memphis to spread the ball. Tyrese Hunter is having a good half so far. 6 points, 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, but PJ Haggerty was the one guy that won him so far.
And Zach, we keep mentioning the size difference and how Temple, if they're going to win this one, it will be from the outside, and now they bring in Matteo Piccarelli.
Yeah, this is not a game where you're going to beat Memphis down low in the paint, just way too big, way too strong. And Adam Fisher knows that, and he brought in his sharpshooter, Piccarelli.
Temple with the ball down one. Mashburn through the lane, kicks it back out. Turnover. The pass was intended for Matteo Piccarelli. Ends up in the hands of Zion Stanford and off the foot of a Memphis player. Looked like it was Dante Harris. It was about to be a breakaway layup.
Yeah, it was a very good job there by Piccarelli, getting his hands on that loose ball to poke it loose once again. Stanford almost had it. Ball goes out of bounds. But very sloppy ball handling here for Temple in this first half.
Seems like each time that Temple goes through the lane, they get it stripped.
Slapped it right out.
Zion Stanford, guarded by Tyrese Hunter on the left wing. Gives it to Elijah Gray at the top of the key. Guarded by Danger. His pull-up three-point shot. No good. Rebounded by Jamal Mashburn Jr. Through the lane, and it's good. An unlikely offensive rebound by Jamal Mashburn Jr.
Yeah, bounced right to Mashburn Jr. and got that layup to go. Elijah Gray, I like the decision to pull up for the three, which ended up in that miss and the Mashburn rebound, but very good job there by Mashburn.
Long shot, long rebound, and it gives the Owls a 1-point lead, 16-15. Danger down low, and he doesn't get the layup to fall. Rebound, Gray.
Defending without fouling.
Stanford in transition through the lane and rejected by Dane Danger from behind. The 5 out for the Owls are Elijah Gray, Zion Stanford, Jamal Mashburn, Shane Dezzoni, and the guard from Italy, UMBC transfer, third season at Temple, Matteo Piccarelli, looking at his first minutes.
Yeah, Piccarelli, he has struggled all season. I mean, he's shooting just 25% from three-point range. Coming into this game, supposed to be Temple's sharpshooter. They really need to get him to find a rhythm.
Mashburn being double-teamed, swings it to Zion Stanford. 15 on the shot clock. Operating through the lane, drive kick to Jamal Mashburn Jr. His three-pointer, no good. Another offensive rebound, stripped away by Haggerty, but off his hands. Out-of-bounds play under their own basket for Temple. Temple's 1-point lead, 16-15 with 10:15 to go.
And again, just not able to keep the handle. Gray, I mean, it was poked loose by Haggerty, but that's a rebound that you have to grab and keep with you. And you mentioned during the break, every time Temple has the ball, they bring it down low. You got to keep that ball up high, because you keep it down low, that all that does is give the guards the opportunity to slap it right out of your hands.
And Mashburn, Zach, gets his first break of the game, 10 minutes in. Quante Berry subs in for him. Stanford, right wing, out to Dezzoni. Guarded by Rogers. Dezzoni, spin, kick out. Zion Stanford, his three. Off the mark, rebound. Tyrese Hunter going the other way is Nick Jourdain, and an easy slam, no one home. 17-16, 1-point lead. Back for Memphis.
Yeah, I mean, you got Nick Jourdain, a guy that's very comfortable in this building, very comfortable shooting on these rims. I mean, he spent some time here at Temple, 3 seasons here on North Broad. He's having a nice half so far.
Elijah Gray playing the handoff game with Zion Stanford. He drives and kicks. Right corner, Matteo Piccarelli. Offensive rebound, Shane Dezzoni, and that's exactly what he does. Shane Dezzoni, 15 rebounds Saturday at Rice.
And he's the guy where he knows he's not going to be able to bully you down low, but he flies in from out of nowhere and grabs that. Kind of reminds me of Josh Hart on the Knicks. Comes right out of nowhere, grabs every single rebound.
Going back and forth here in North Philadelphia. Temple retains the lead. 18-17 with 9 to play. Haggerty through the lane, a lot of contact, no call. Stanford in transition. Through the lane, double clutch, no call. Fighting for the offensive rebound into Dezzoni and can't get it.
Yeah,
Carter.
he had the tip in there.
Carter takes it away for Memphis. And Memphis decides to slow things down. Tyrese Hunter Finding Jourdain, corner three, Colby Rogers. That pretty J is off the mark. Rebound yet again, who else but Shane Dezzoni. Dezzoni the whole way. A lot of contact, no call. Almost another offensive rebound and off the foot of Memphis. And it's gonna be Temple ball. And since the start of this game, Zach, it's been sloppy and it hasn't gotten any better.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are just playing a little too quick for their own good. They try to make a move, they dribble it off their foot, or they get it deflected. I mean, Temple will take it. They have it now. I mean, they're 1 for their last 9, but they still have a lead in this game. That just shows you how sloppy it's been on both sides.
And a ton of rotation from the bench. A
Yep.
new 3 players come in: Duradola, Settle, and Tobiason.
Fresh legs.
Fresh legs, and Jamal Mashburn Jr. less
Right
than a
back in.
2-minute break, right back in at the 8:30 mark. 18-17 to play. 18-17, 1-point lead for Temple. 8 minutes to play in this first half. Jamal Mashburn Jr. to the corner, gets tipped away by Haggerty. And Haggerty still just 1 for 4 with 2 points. 12 minutes through this game. Sideline out of bounds for Barry. 5 seconds on the shot clock, so Temple's going to have to act quick.
Yeah, I was going to say look for a screen, but instead they give to Settle.
3 seconds on the shot clock. A bomb from Quante Barry. And it banks in. Looked like about a 30-footer from Quante Barry, and it goes.
And Quante Barry shooting 37% from 3 on the season, showing how there.
Going the other way, Nick Jourdain, his 3 can't go from the right wing. 4-point lead under the 8-minute mark at the Liacouras Center. 21-17 Owls. Mashburn guarded by the former Owl Jourdain. His 3-pointer off the mark, rebounded by Quante Barry, and it's put back and in. 23-17, 6-point lead, 7:40 to go on the clock, and timeout, Memphis.
Second chance points for Temple, proven to be huge in this game so far, and Penny Hardaway wants to talk it over.
It's loud at the Liacouras Center. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back on W. Back from the timeout, James Urban, Zach Silverstein here at the Liacouras Center on WHIP on YouTube. A 6-point lead for the Owls, 23-17, and a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. And Zach, you're getting the feeling that this is going to be a close one down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. It has that feeling where I think it's going to come down to the wire. I know it's still early, but a 6-point game here. We talked about it over the break. Temple 9 offensive rebounds, which have led to 6 second chance points. Memphis only 3 offensive rebounds. So coming into the game, we were like, oh, there's a major size difference down low between Temple and Memphis, the advantage going to Memphis when it comes to the height. And they've shown it from time to time, of course. But you look at the box score, the offensive rebounds, 6 more offensive boards for the Owls over the Tigers. And it's the lead. They have a 6-point lead, 6 second chance points. That's the difference in the game right now.
19 total rebounds for the Owls and just 8 for the Tigers. And Zach, who else but Quante Berry and Shane Dezzoni?
I mean, Quante Berry and Shane Dezzoni, we said it. They've stepped up in every single role they've been called upon to play, whether it be starting, coming off the bench, doesn't matter. They're all over the place. And I mentioned Shane Dezzoni reminds me of Josh Hart. He's all over the place. You're standing there waiting for a rebound. You think you're in the clear, then all of a sudden he flies in out of nowhere and grabs the ball right from you. You need a high-energy guy like that on your basketball team, and Shane Dezzoni is that guy for the Owls.
Back to the action, Memphis. P.J. Haggerty looking baseline, back to the corner. Gives it to Nick Jourdain. 10 on the shot clock, 7:20 to play here in the first half. Dezzoni pressured. Back to the top of the key. Colby Rogers has it with just 3 on the shot clock. Gets tripped up, and that's a bailout foul right there, Zach.
I mean, they had 1 second left on the shot clock. You don't need to go for the steal there. Just play solid defense, get your hands up, slide your feet. But instead, you bail the Tigers out, and they get 20 seconds back on that shot clock.
Foul on Jamal Mashburn Jr., and his back was towards the shot clock, so maybe he didn't know how much time was on the shot clock, but certainly a bailout foul.
You would have to assume that's it because he's a very experienced player. A lot of time here playing college ball. You would think a player like him would know better, so it had to be. Maybe he just didn't know the situation there.
And the 5th-year guard, P.J. Carter, comes in, subs out Nick Jourdain. Tyrese Hunter, pull up Jay on Jamal Mashburn Jr., no good. And again, the rebounding, phenomenal for Temple.
That was a great box out there by Duradola on Cisse there.
Left wing, guarded. Mashburn is Carter. Settle, right wing, and he loses it.
Again, James,
Really?
we see it again with the deflections.
Now that one looked like it was off of Memphis, but ref was right there and he thought otherwise. P.J. Haggerty, yet again, great hands. Hasn't scored too much yet, but Memphis doing a great job at forcing turnovers with the pokeaways.
Yep, and again, Settle bringing that ball down low and allowing Hunter to poke it loose.
Top of the key, Tyrese Hunter. Takes the screen from Cisse. Cisse through the lane, jam, and it looks like he got fouled. Attempted the jam, hit the back of the rim.
You can see Adam Fisher over there, not happy at all with that call. Hopefully they show it to us on the big screen.
Yeah, let's see if the replay is working tonight. They called it on Quante Berry.
He may have got a piece there.
Of the elbow.
Yeah.
So it's Cisse, go to the line. Musa Cisse, the 5th-year center, and his first one is no good.
He struggles from the line.
The center coming from Guinea has played at Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, and now back at Memphis. Has had quite the journey.
Yeah, he started at Memphis, found his way back.
Starting at Memphis, 2 seasons at Oklahoma State, 1 at Ole Miss, and now this year back in Memphis. Cisse's second free throw is good. Goes 1 for 2 on that trip. And Temple with a 5-point lead, 23-18, 6:15 to play at the Liacouras Center. Pressure is back on in the backcourt for Memphis. Top of the key pressure. Mashburn on the left wing, guarded by Hunter. Takes it to the top of the key. Hedged by Danger. Right wing Berry. Baseline Elijah Gray, guarded by Haggerty. Going away. Elijah Gray trying to find somebody, and it's off the face of Baba Duradola. Just great pressure there by Memphis.
Yeah, I mean, that was great pressure there by Memphis. Gray really had nothing else to do. He did a great job not turning it over off the deflection. The turnover didn't come until he tried to make that pass to Duradola down low, but just great defense there, swarming Gray.
So since the 7-0 run by Temple over a 2-minute stretch, they have not scored since. But not to worry, no field goals in the last 4 minutes for Memphis either.
Memphis helping them out.
Right wing 3 for Tyrese Hunter, and that one's good. That's his second 3 of the night.
Gray.
And Gray is going to walk off the court. Looks like either a hamstring or a dead leg of some sort. But Tyrese Hunter gets his second three to fall. He's now 2 for 3 from 3, 3 for 6 from the field. 9 points, leading all scorers.
Yeah, and if Gray can't come back in this one, that's going to be a huge blow. Now, Settle out there, the biggest body. He almost went back to the locker room, is now just outside, but next man up, you got to figure it out.
Dezzoni hits the scorer's table as we approach the 5-minute mark in the first half. Almost a turnover by Mashburn. He's on the left wing, gives it to the top of the key is Quante Berry. Screen by Duradola. Memphis keeps hedging with danger. Settle swings to Mashburn, and that three-pointer is good. Left wing three by Jamal Mashburn Jr., and the Owls answer right back.
A 44% three-point shooter. He shows by there. Now another turnover by Memphis.
Tyrese Hunter trying to give it to Dane Danger in the post. So pass a little too wide and goes out of bounds right by your friend Sal, who's sitting courtside tonight, Zach.
Sal somehow won some tickets, courtside ticket on Twitter. He's over there with the whiteout, enjoying himself. And surprised he didn't pick up the ball. He told me he was going to go full Carmelo Anthony if the ball came to him and do the little pump fake there.
Instead, he should shoot it.
Yeah, he should shoot it.
26-21, back to a 5-point lead for the Owls. 4:40 to play. Settle, guarded by Cisse. Corner, Shane Dezzoni. Doubled, almost loses it. Are they going to call a foul or foul by Colby Rogers? Colby Rogers, who I mentioned going into this game, a phenomenal three-point shooter, and he's 0 for 2 right now, 0 for 3 from the field. And Memphis not shooting well at all, 30% from the field, 25% from 3. Mashburn on the right wing, guarded by Harris, coming off the Settle screen. Mashburn, corner, Quante Berry's three, no good, just a little long. Rebound by Haggerty. Haggerty still struggling, looking to find a bucket. Almost stolen by Quante Berry, maybe off the hand of Dante Harris. Unfortunately, you can't review it until 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that looked like it might have deflected off Harris last. Berry definitely thought so, but really active hands. A good job just reading the passing lanes there by Berry.
And now look at this. We keep mentioning the size, but Keita looking at his first minutes for tonight. The 7-footer, Keita, now guarding Cisse. He subs out Baba Duradola as we approach the 4-minute mark.
And that might be a sign that Elijah Gray's injury might be a tough one for tonight.
Right wing, Colby Rogers, he stays cold. In transition, Quante Berry gives it to Jamal Mashburn. Corner, Shane Dezzoni is good. And there is life in the Liacouras Center as the Owls put up their lead to 8 points. Offensive rebound, Moussa Cisse. Lead 6, 29-23. 3:30 to play in this first half.
Yeah, and that down low is going to be a tough matchup for Keita. Just his 7th game of the season. Doesn't get many minutes, but he's got to make the most of it here.
Out to Dezzoni. He tries another one, and it's good! Shane Dezzoni has been phenomenal for Temple as of late, and he continues it tonight. Back-to-back threes and the Owls lengthen their lead to 9. Zach, let's keep it here. I mean, this first half has gone about as good as it possibly could have.
Yeah, I mean, we said you need contributions from all over the court, and that's exactly what we're getting. Shane Dezzoni, Quante Berry, Jamal Mashburn. I know that Elijah Gray just got hurt, but when he was in there, he was doing some really good things as well. Steve Settle flying all over the place. There may be no better way to get a crowd into a game than back-to-back threes, and Shane Dezzoni did it all by himself there. I mean, just coming into the game was just 9 for 30 on the season from three-point range, but not shy at all. You love that, and we said it. Coming into last season, did not have regular rotation minutes. Was not a guy Adam Fisher was looking at all, and now he's getting big-time minutes all season and in the biggest game of the season against a top 25 team.
Also becoming a threat when a team gives you that open look and you decide not to shoot it, you only hurt your team that much more.
Yep.
Him being that confident and knocking those back-to-back threes down, absolutely massive. Shane Dezzoni in his 3rd season now at Temple, the transfer from Vanderbilt. Everyone really, because there's been so many rotational minutes tonight, Zach, with everything that's gone on in this Temple program the last few years, it seems like everyone at this point is really buying in.
Yeah, this might be the first time in our time at Temple. We're now in year 4 at Temple.
It seems like everything's coming together a little bit.
It seems like the 3 prior seasons, there were things here and there where guys weren't maybe happy with their roles. There was some tension on the team. Right now, everybody just wants to win. And you can see where you have a guy in Shane Dezzoni who is in his 4th year, but is okay with coming off the bench. You have a guy in Steve Settle who's in his 6th year, but is okay with doing anything that he's asked. Adam Fisher has these guys ready to play. He has them playing as one, playing as a family, and that's exactly what you need. And it's showing on the court. And, I mean, like you said, this is the first time in our 4 years here that it seems like every player is buying
And the place is really filling up now.
The game first started, we were like, wow, it's really not that big of a crowd. But everybody's starting to fill in. You got people up in the second deck, which you usually don't see. That's exactly what you want to see here for a whiteout game. And if you can win this game, the next home game might have some fans trickle in as well.
That's exactly the position that they were in 2 years ago against Houston. Yep. It was their first game where they drew a big crowd. The team was so disappointed that they couldn't get that win.
Yep.
Now this opportunity back in their hands, and they're up 9 with 3 minutes to play in this first half. Still early, but Temple, how are they going to keep the heat and win this game?
Yeah, I think you need to keep the pressure on Memphis. PJ Haggerty really just still struggling.
1 for 4.
I mean, the fact that he's only taken 4 shots with 3:16 to go in this first half says a lot about the defense that Temple's playing, forcing him to make tough decisions, forcing him to pass the ball. 2 guys like Tyrese Hunter and Dante Harris, who Dante Harris 0 for 2 from the field, no points. I mean, Temple, like you said, Adam Fisher always preaches playing a complete 2 halves of basketball. They're doing it so far on both ends. One thing I want to see them play cleaner, taking care of the basketball. Temple,
still 8 turnovers.
8 turnovers. So they're on pace for about 16 here in this game.
And a lot of those came early, and they've cleaned it up a little bit.
They have cleaned it up. Just cannot bring that ball down low. Can't bring it down low. And the second chance points off the offensive rebounds, I never thought that I would see a game where Temple will be dominating Memphis on the offensive glass. But that's exactly what they're doing tonight.
And an injury update on Elijah Gray. Back from the locker room. Not really sure if he will be playing again, certainly this half, but he is at the end of the bench. And we are back in action, 32-23, 9-point lead for the Owls with 3 to go in this first half after a much-needed talk for Memphis. Let's see if Coach Penny Hardaway fixed some things for this Tigers team. Right wing, Jourdain gives it down low to Dane Danger, guarded by Steve Settle. To the corner, Colby Rogers. His 3-pointer is good, and that's something that the Tigers really needed out of the timeout.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Penny Hardaway, you can't draw it up any better. Right out of the timeout, you get 3 points. Colby Rogers is a guy that's shooting 38% from 3, so you would imagine they were looking for him out of the timeout to try to silence this crowd a little bit.
And Colby Rogers, a pretty jump shot, a natural jump shot, releases it midair. Quante Berry back up top to Shane Dezzoni, 10 on the shot clock, through the lane. Jamal Mashburn Jr. gets Dane Danger in the air, and that's just a veteran move by Jamal Mashburn Jr., the pump fake. It looks like he got 3 guys in the air on that pump, and Jamal Mashburn Jr. will be heading to the free throw line looking for his 10th and 11th point of the night.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely a lot of players, especially at the collegiate level, that would see the rim and would just want to attack right off the bat. Jamal Mashburn knows there's no way that he's getting that ball over Cisse and Danger, who are both in there together. So instead, nice little jump stop, pump fake, force them to foul you, and now you're at the line for 2 easy points.
And not many free throws so far tonight, even though it's been a little bit of a gritty game. 3 for 4 from the stripe for Memphis, and 3 for 3 right now for Temple. Jamal Mashburn makes it 4 for 4. He knocks down both, and that gives him 11 points on the night. Yet again, what else do you know? Jamal Mashburn Jr. in double digits in the first half.
Exactly what they need from him. On pace for about 22, and hopefully he doesn't slow down. Not shy at all, just letting all those shots fly.
Going right to left in black, Memphis going left to right in white, Temple. Memphis approaching the 2-minute mark, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Illegal screen by Nick Jourdain. Do you sense Memphis losing their cool a little bit here, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, I think Memphis might have came in not kind of looking past Temple, but thinking, look, we've played a lot of top teams in the country so far. We've handled them. Temple should be no problem, but maybe the crowd a little bit more than they expected, and Temple just really feeding off of it.
And we have officially reached the 2-minute mark. Temple 8-point lead, 34-26. Three-pointer from Shane Dezzoni. Corner three, no good. Rebounded by Cisse. Bringing it up the court is Tyrese Hunter. Hunter guarded by Barry. Looking for a shot. Finds Danger on the elbow. Guarded by Keita. One-on-one for Danger. Backs down Keita all the way to the corner. Nick Jourdain, opposite wing. Three, rebounded by Shane Dezzoni. And Temple looking to slow things down a little bit. Back out to Quante Barry. 1:20 to play in this first half.
You should be in no rush here.
This first half has gone about as good as you can possibly imagine for the Temple Owls. Three-pointer for Quante Barry, off the mark, hits the back of the rim, rebounded by Nick Jourdain.
What I don't want to see from Temple is see them get complacent and force up threes that they maybe shouldn't be taking.
Lob to Cisse, and that's a beautiful play. Tyrese Hunter splits the screen through the lane, a lob to Moussa Cisse, and that brings it back to a 6-point game, 34-28, 45 seconds to play. Let's see if Temple goes for the 2-for-1. Top of the key, Settle through the lane, a lot of contact, no foul, and he makes it through the body of Dane Danger, who we were talking about pregame. Dane Danger, 6'9", 275.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Steve Settle,
just flings
a
it up
prime
there.
Example.
20 seconds left. 36-28, an 8-point lead, and the crowd is getting off their feet. Shot clock matches the game clock. 10 to play in this first half, and Liacouras is loud. Tyrese Hunter operating, finds Danger. Backing down Settle, hook shot is good. Wow, what a smooth move by Dane Danger. And that's gonna finish the first half. At the end of the half, 36-30, the Owls are in front. Zach, I mean, things are going pretty much as good as planned.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the box score, you got 9 offensive rebounds for the Owls. And, I mean, that really tells the story there where they're out hustling Memphis. It seems like every single play, they can't beat them with the size like we've said so many times. So they just out-hustled them. They outworked them. They do whatever needs to be done. And the shooting as well has been very good for the Owls. They are 6 for 15 from three-point range, shooting 40% from beyond the arc. Especially in this modern-day age of basketball, that is how you win games. And Temple doing exactly that. P.J. Haggerty is really struggling for Memphis. He has, I'm trying to find him here, he has just 2 points, 1 for 4 from the field. You hold the number 3 scorer in the entire country to 2 points on 4 total shots. I think you're doing a pretty good job defensively.
The shooting numbers going into the half, Memphis shooting 40% from the field, Temple shooting 43%, Memphis shooting 27% from 3, and Temple shooting a solid 40% from 3. A giant opportunity for Temple tonight. And they are up 6 at the half against an 18th ranked Memphis team who has 9 quad 1 and 2 victories. This would be a massive victory, but the game is not over yet. 20 minutes still to play. Find us back on WHIP Radio for the final 20 minutes with Zach Silverstein and James Urban.